This segment is sponsored by booktrib.com and Samantha Vaive. Well, oftentimes when women get pregnant, we realize we actually don't know much about giving birth, and that can be terrifying. This morning, though, I am joined by Samantha Vaive, the author of Mind, Body, Birth, and her book serves as a guide to a fearless childbirth. Samantha, welcome to the show.
Hi, Eileen. How are you this morning?
Very well. I have to say that was me. When I got pregnant, I was very fearful of birth. So why did you decide to write Mind, Body, Birth? Where did the idea come from?
So you are absolutely not alone. And while I was working on my PhD, I overheard a conversation between two women. And it was an older woman and a younger woman. And the younger woman was saying, I don't really know if I want to have kids. I don't think I do. But everybody says when you hold that baby for the first time, everything changes. And the older woman got really quiet and she said, that didn't happen for me. And the way she said it, I turned around and I said, I'm really sorry to interrupt, but did I hear you say you had a C-section? And she said, yeah, I had an emergency C-section. So I said, oh, the medications that they give you during a C-section can block your oxytocin receptors. So even though bonding chemicals are flooding through your body, you just might not feel them. And she stared at me and she said, for 20 years, I've thought something was wrong with me. Why
Oh.
didn't anybody ever tell me? And all I could say was, yeah, there's a lot they don't tell you. And in that moment, I didn't want anyone to ever feel the way that that woman felt again. So I wrote this book so that no one has to.
Oh my gosh. Well, we so appreciate it. What would you say is the biggest misconception about just the birth experience?
So there's probably two. One is that it has to be awful or you have to be on a lot of drugs, which is not true. Childbirth can be this amazing, wonderful, joyful thing. Childbirth doesn't have to be the thing you get through to get to the good part. It really can be the good part. And the second part is that you can wait. If you really want to have a great childbirth, you need to start early. You need to start first trimester, second trimester. So often I get people who wait until like a week before they're going to give birth. And you can go through the course real fast in one weekend if you want to, but you won't really have time to practice and get the full benefits. So don't wait.
Okay. So we get pregnant, then we get the book. Can you maybe give an example or two of the kinds of tools or solutions that you present in the book that can help people maybe take a little bit more control of their birthing experience?
Absolutely. So the whole point of the book is helping you build your birth toolkit because everybody's going to be unique and everybody needs different things. So we go through a lot of different options. But I'm going to tell you about one of my favorites, which is called Brahmari breath. It's a pranayama from the yogic tradition. And there's been multiple research articles about this hard science that if you do this consistently throughout pregnancy, it's super easy. It reduces your risk of preeclampsia. And anybody who's been pregnant knows that preeclampsia is pretty scary. So a simple thing to reduce the risk. I'm going to show you how to do it. You can do it with me if you want. You're
Okay.
going to find a comfortable position. You can keep your eyes open or closed. You're going to take a deep breath. And when you exhale, you're going to hum like a bee. Real simple. That's it. That's all you have to do every day, 5, 10 minutes. And this is the kind of thing where time really becomes an issue because if you start doing this 2 days before you give birth, you might feel a sense of calmness, but you're not going to get that preeclampsia benefit that you would get if you start in the second trimester.
Well, I have learned a lot already, and I'm sure our viewers probably want to get a copy of your book, maybe gift it to somebody. How do we go about doing that?
Absolutely. So you can find it on my website, which is sound-birthing.com. You can find me on Amazon, on Bookstore if you want to support your independent bookstores. And if you're in Lansing, Michigan, you can buy it at the Robin Theater.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Samantha, for joining us and for
Thank
bringing
you.
us this great book.
Have a great day.
You as well.